Welcome to the Overload, our weekly podcast about overusing media. And today our topic is going to be Instagram and effect of the Instagram on the real life. So today we have our two guests. It's Katerina and Valeria. And I would ask them to tell something about themselves. So Katerina, can we start from you, please?
Hello, my name, as you know, is Katerina. I'm a second-year creative business student here at NHO. And I would say I'm pretty much addicted to Instagram. That's one of my favorite social medias. But I'm trying to change that and set healthy boundaries.
And you, Valeria?
Yes, hello. My name is Valeria, and I graduated just now from social work. I'm international here in the Netherlands, and about my social media, there's a whole story, but to make it short, what I would say is that I was addicted to it, and now I'm done with it.
Well, that's impressive, and I hope we're gonna hear about it more. So, as well as always, we have the same rules as always. We have our 4 cards here, and the guest is speaking one of these cards, and we are discussing the topic. So I would like to ask you, Valeria, if you would pick the card, please. And
Okay, I choose one card.
yeah, choose one card, please.
Okay. Should I read it?
Yes, you should read
Okay.
it out loud.
Okay, so challenge. Post a story on your Instagram from our podcast. I do not have Instagram anymore.
That's a challenge. So I'm gonna help you with that. I
Okay.
can help you with my Instagram to post from my
Okay.
story. Yeah, it's not gonna be like that, but it's fine.
Okay.
So yeah, and
Okay.
so what are we doing? If you have a challenge, we're doing all of us doing that. If you have a question, all of us discussing it logically.
Okay.
So yeah, I would ask you to make free marketing for our podcast and to make some shares in Instagram about us. And I hope you can make it now, or you can make it at the end of the show. Katrina, I would like to ask you if you could took the other card, please.
Of course. Let's see.
What that will be.
Will Insta be able to displace other apps? Is the question. I mean, I would say right now a lot of apps are trying to replace Instagram and not Instagram replacing other apps. Well, what I would also maybe have noticed is that for me, a lot of apps look the same pretty much. Like they have a lot of similarity. For example, Instagram Reels and TikTok copying each other constantly, or Instagram trying to copy Be Real and all of that. It's pretty much like a whole mess. Like for me, too many apps to use. But do I think if Instagram is going to be able to displace other apps? Maybe no, but I think it will be one of the main ones. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, yeah, I also think so. And it's very, they are like similar. So they have some features that you can really say it's the same app, but at the same time, they have a brand that is different and some other characteristic. But, I would say that they will be always all there, because I feel that we all have like a reason to be addicted to all of them. And like, for example, I think that if you check the phones of people, can be like everybody, we all have many kinds of those apps, even if they are similar. So we don't really take one off because we're like, oh, this is cooler. We have like both, and maybe there's one that we use more. That's at least what I noticed and what I used to do as well. Yeah.
And, do you think that, like you mentioned, the reels? Do you think that reels can take the audience of the TikTok, for example, and just grab them and do not let the TikTok have them?
Well, I think it's the other way around. Actually, even though like Instagram is trying to implement new features, I think if it sticks to what Instagram used to be, it might have more users there, because while Instagram is constantly changing, I think it's actually losing right now a lot of its users, and a lot of creators, online creators, are moving to other apps. So I think Instagram should step up their game. But I don't know. This is just what a lot of my friends, we've been discussing and starting to notice. I don't know if you think this this as well.
I've noticed that my favorite creators were like taking like they were leaving the Instagram to some bigger platforms. Like for example, I know a lot of creators that in the one point they just like, okay, no Instagram, I go to the Pinterest. I was very amazed about it, to the Pinterest, because I didn't know they have so much like creator recognition there or something like that. But I think that Instagram is losing probably right now the creators and the users in general because of it. So yeah, probably it is.
Yeah, and I also think that maybe it depends on the country, because what I see, for example, with the Italian Instagram is that the people that post in there, they are not like creators that create, I don't know, art or some educational content that could really like, I don't know, help the people, for example. But it's just those, I don't know, women that are like models or something, and then they share the story about, I don't know, they go travel around, or they post photos on their children, like at any time of the day, and they do reels also, and that dominates really the content. So I'm like, yeah, but people still watch it. So yeah.
So now we are gonna understand what our audience think about it. Will Instagram be able to displace other apps?
In some ways, yeah, probably, because Instagram has more and more new options and functions, but I don't think that Instagram will be able to replace all the apps, but some of them definitely.
I don't think it will, because everything is progressing and changing all the time, and I feel like TikTok is kind of taking the place of Instagram lately. But I love Instagram and I keep using it. I don't think it's going to replace, but it's going to stay.
I think more yes than no, because Instagram has every type of content you need, and video, chats, and stories. So it's all combined, and I think you can use only Instagram basically.
Thank you. So now we are moving to our last two cards, and now it's whose turn to take the card right now? I think it's Larry's turn.
It's me?
Yeah, it's your turn again.
My turn.
Yeah.
Da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da. Here it is.
Yeah.
Hope not a challenge. Huh? Oh, I like this question. Okay. Have you ever felt pressed by perfect Insta life? That's yeah. I do remember that, like, when I started having Instagram, I was like 14 years old. So I was really like in the middle of it, and all of my friends had that, and they even told me that it was quite late for me to have Instagram. So I saw all of those models and pictures and everything, and I was just like a teenage girl going to high school, having a very basic normal life. So I told myself, okay, what do I have to do? Like, I felt that I had to do something, to show something. So every time I was like even going out with my friends just to take pictures for Instagram, and I had this challenge of taking 3 pictures per day and put them in Instagram. So you can imagine that in like 1 year time I had more than 300 pictures, and that every time I was checking the light and everything, like I was becoming just like everybody else, and I was kind of pressed to be like that. It was quite unpleasant feeling, but I just did it. Yeah. I don't know if you have ever like experienced the same, or what you think about it.
Well, for example, me personally, I didn't had such kind of problem because I have like 100-ish subscribers on Instagram, and I have like 10 posts for the whole 5 years when I have this account, and I do not care much. But what actually put pressure on yourself, it's when you are following some kind of celebrities that you love, and you like see their perfect life, like they're waking up, they go to the gym, they have a perfect breakfast, perfect dinner, perfect supper, everything is perfect, and you see your life and you understand that, well, my life is not perfect. What am I doing wrong? And I can kind of relate to what you just told. And that's kind of have this pressure. And what about you, Katrina?
I can relate so much. I also started using Instagram when I was just a teenage girl. You know, there was a lot of pressure of always looking perfect, as you said. You know, like it was not like a competition, but you know, there were expectations of what you should post, how you should look, what story you take, whatever. And it was like it became so much. You know, like always like thinking, oh, should I post this, should I not, is it good enough? That one day I just decided I'm gonna take a break for 1 week. I think it was when I was around 16, 17 years old. I'm now 20, and I don't know, I suddenly realized that it's like nobody actually cares about what others post. Like most people are just obsessed with themselves and what people think about them, so nobody actually cares what you post. So once that mindset kind of clicked, I stopped caring about what I post. I just decided I'm gonna follow only people who inspire me, or just creators who are similar to my interest. For example, I really like dancing. I also enjoy cooking, so I started just focusing on accounts like this and stopped following celebrities because it was the pressure was too much, you know, to kind of always look perfect, always, you know, like have flawless skin, or, you know, it was a long journey, and I'm still trying to not care how, like, what others think of me. I just post whenever I want to capture the moment. So that's what is my experience so far, I would say.
And do you think, for example, if Be Real can actually help with this kind of pressure, because the only people you're speaking there is your friends, and it's like you don't have any filters, any masks, you just like you and your friends, you and like your room, it just communication with pictures. And I really think it can help people that are struggling because of pressure of Instagram to maybe switch apps and use Be Real more, or just do not use Instagram at all. Yeah. So what do you think about the Be Real?
Well, I never really used it, but I got introduced to it by like a friend of mine who used it. So basically he just took a picture with me, and then he was like, yeah, I'm gonna post it on Be Real. And I was like, what is that? And then I started, like, I really noticed what you're saying, because like I started being worried, because I was like, wait, but my hair were not on place, why are you posting that? And then he told me, don't worry, it's Be Real, so it's okay if your hair are like that, like it's not a problem, it's not like Instagram. So thanks to that like comment or remark, I really understood like the difference, and I felt more comfortable. But still, maybe it could be replaced or beneficial for the people, but at the same time it's still an app, so still people like with that they feel comfortable sharing more details about the private life, but those stuff they still go on the internet, so everybody could see it. Like, okay, maybe it's just shared with their friends, but I think that if you have a picture online, even of just like on your personal Google Photos, it could be there forever, and someone, if you lose your phone or whatever, someone can have access to it. Like when it's online, it's forever there. And I think that's quite scary. Yeah.
It kind of is. Well, yeah, that's pretty frustrated, but now we are gonna know what our viewers think about the perfect Instagram life. And we will know their opinion.
Thank you. The second question is, have you ever felt pressed by perfect Instagram life?
I mean, yeah, I think everyone has. I mean, nowadays I don't really let it bother me anymore, but as a kid looking at other people on Instagram, it was kind of like, oh, but that's how I should live my life, or that's how I should look.
A lot of times I have felt insecure about myself, and I can get mad very easily about the people that pretend to have the perfect life there. and actually it's not true at all, because I have had friends who on social media seem like, oh yeah, I'm living my best life, look at me, I'm like very happy, very successful, but at the same time they're super miserable in their real life.
I feel like my whole Instagram has always been very random. I remember when I had my Tumblr era, I really wanted to be cool and edgy and portray myself like that on Instagram, but I never really stick to it because it was just too much of an effort.
So, and now we are moving to our last but not least question, and I will ask you, Katerina, to read it, please.
Let's go. Interesting question. Is Insta a useful platform? If yes, how? Okay, I really like this question actually. I think it really depends what you use it for. Before, I used to hate on it because I was like, oh, it uses all of my time, it consumes me, I stay there for a couple of hours without realizing how much time I spend. But now I would say it is very useful if you know how to use it. For example, I cannot even think of deleting it. Because I work from it. I also keep in touch with my friends on it. But I also use it for motivation or just as a platform where I can gain my more knowledge. So yeah, I think it can be pretty useful if you set the right boundaries and not spend all of your day on it, of course. So yeah, I do think it can be very useful. What do you think?
Yeah, well, I'm actually focusing on that sentence like that you just said, like putting boundaries, and then I'm thinking, but maybe isn't it that like the creators, like no, not the creators, but like the one that made the app wanted to like depossess us from like our own boundaries, which means, do we really have control, or is this app controlling us? Like the image, it influences already the image that we have on us. And it might sound a bit negative what I'm saying, but I didn't have any really benefits in my life from having that. Maybe I was caring a little bit more about how I was dressing, like physical appearance, but all the anxiety that put on me, well, that was a negative side effect of it. And every time, I wanted to follow some interesting channels or stuff like that, but then I was like, oh wow, they make great things, that's a lot, and I cannot make it. Every time it was more like instead of getting inspired, I wanted to do my own things, but then I didn't know how to, because there are a million people that are interested in, I don't know, singing or food or dancing, and if I have like my own style and do my own thing, then it's more like the criticism. And online people are wild, like they can get insulted and everything, while in real life they can be really polite. But those people, they hide online. So it's I don't know, like you know why I'm here? Like it's really because I want to the people, the young people, the students, everybody actually, to be aware of the dangers actually of those social medias. And really that what's important is to really take care of themselves, like without that, and that they don't need that they are already amazing how they are, and they don't need to prove themselves. So yeah.
I will ask our glorious cameraman to just take this quote and make it a quote of the episode. Precisely what we are trying to do here. So, I don't know, about the Instagram, is it useful? I don't actually think that Instagram is useful. I have it on my phone only because if I'm starting to speak with a new person, and this person like, okay, I don't have Telegram or I don't have WhatsApp, and I'm just like, okay, let's communicate on Instagram. But messaging on Instagram is not on a high point, like on a high level, and like the reels are worse than a TikTok. And I don't know, like Instagram is worse than any other app that is similar to it in different versions. Like, for example, I really do not like Instagram because of the feed of the Instagram. It's pretty random, so you almost cannot like make it for yourself or to make it better for yourself.
Really?
Because yes, for TikTok, like I was doing this kind of experiment with making a feed for myself on Instagram, TikTok, and on TikTok it was kind of easy. Like you don't like something, you press not interested. If I see something on Instagram, I press not interested, and I see this in like 10 minutes, and it's like regularly. And well, I think that Instagram probably has some problem with algorithm, but well, it's not my problem as a user. It's a problem of the creators. So, do you have any more thoughts about this question?
Yeah, I disagree. I actually think, at least comparing my Instagram and TikTok, I would say I usually spend more time on my Instagram Reels feed, because it's exactly what I'm looking for. For me, for example, my whole feed is about cheap ways of traveling or cooking, or like everything that I'm actually interested in, while on the TikTok it's most of the time some very, very random stuff. But I think it depends on which platform you spend more time, because then the platform gets to know you more, I guess. So I think, for example, if you haven't been on Instagram for a while, it's like the algorithm is going to be messed up. But I don't know, everybody's allowed to have different opinions. I would still stick to Instagram, I think, because I mean most of my friends are there. It's the easiest way for me to communicate. But who knows, maybe it won't be trendy anymore after 1 or 2 years, who knows. And yes, I agree with you also. I'm also on that mindset. You don't need it, but for me it's still impossible to delete, because when my work is there, when I'm in touch with my friends there, it just seems like an app that I'll definitely won't be able to delete.
More like a habit, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you talk with your friends, so that's one of the main reasons. I think we all talk on Instagram to people, and we have like the chats, but do we really connect? Do we really communicate? That's also another topic, right? Yeah. And also, how do you feel about the fact that the platform, like the algorithm, knows us better? Like I'm quite scared about it.
The most scary moment in Instagram is when the Instagram recommends you the people that you met like far in your childhood, and you're just like, how do you know that I know them? Like how? Well, that's pretty scary.
Well, it depends. If you want to find like your date or something, then you're like, that's I found.
But if you find your, I don't know, your teacher from the first grade, you're
curious, right?
Yeah, you're curious, like, what is on your page?
Could get very creepy. Also, yesterday, what happened to me, I was speaking with a friend about how we should play Uno, whatever. We didn't Google it anywhere, and then 2 minutes later, Instagram just had a reel about Uno. Like, this very creeped me very much out. So, it can be creepy. That's why I try to stay away from my phone. I don't know if you do that. I try to not be on it all the time. But I was curious, actually, when did you delete Instagram, and how do you feel after you don't have it anymore?
Yeah, so when did I delete Instagram? Wow, that's a few years ago, so I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago.
Whoa, 5 years ago.
Yeah, so I was, I think I was around like 19, 20, and but I used it for some years as well. And at first it felt really strange. So I felt that I had like to compensate, like an addiction. So I had to, for example, eat a lot because I was kind of missing it. I had this like fear of missing out. But after, I felt really free because I could really spend my time doing something else, like in real life, in real life. And that was nice. Yeah.
That's impressive. Like that's how I really want. That's what I really want to achieve, because I have a huge problem with social media in general, and how I'm. Yeah. Like I spend 14 hours a day on TikTok, so just never mind.
I understand. Yeah, it's and the thing that's like it's normal, like many people do. So it's like it's not considered bad or an addiction or anything. But if you do not have that, people start asking and worried about you, like, why you don't have it? Whoa, like they are like saying, are you antisocial or something? And I'm like, it's the opposite. It's to be more social and to really talk in real life. That yeah. So that's a little. And even I don't know if you heard, but about Instagram as well, there are some people that go on other apps to make like advertise their own Instagram, and they just want more followers. So they are just pretending to be interested in other apps, but they don't use the apps. They just want followers. So people would do anything for followers. Have you heard about that?
Well, people that do everything for followers can be seen in your Instagram feed, like probably almost all the time. And I don't actually think that people on Instagram are searching for followers as much as people, for example, in YouTube. Yeah, because in YouTube it's way more harder to find your audience and to find your followers. But if you have Instagram, and on Instagram, as far as I'm concerned, they have a very good algorithm about the marketing. Yeah. So finding the audience is probably easier than in YouTube. Can I say this? I hope so. Did you have some experience with this marketing?
I mean, yeah, because me and another family member, we have our own business, and we started only on Instagram. And at first it wasn't easy, so that's why I think it's like a common strategy to start trying to advertise your Instagram channel on other platforms as well. But yeah, I'm not experienced with YouTube at all. I've just worked on Instagram. So I would say it's sometimes the algorithm is your best friend, and sometimes it's your worst enemy. So it's not that easy as it seems trying to advertise on Instagram, but it can be very useful and very much on a budget compared to Facebook, for example, where you need to pay for ads to be viewed by more people. So I think there are a lot of possibilities. Yeah.
Do you have anything else to say about this topic?
Stop Instagram.
Yeah, please stop using Instagram. Delete it immediately, or not delete it, but subscribe to Katrina's business page and help her. Yeah.
Is it allowed to say that? Okay.
I'm not gonna mention it, but
yeah, we are not gonna mention it, but you should do it. And now we are gonna see what our viewers think about it.
Second question is Insta a useful platform? If yes, how?
Yes and not. Like, I like it a lot. I was before, because I was thinking it was more like an amplification of our social life with my friends and stuff. I can know what they were doing. Like when they put the story for the first time, I remember me and my friends just like looking at the story and see what's happening in the city, like because you can find out what people are doing. So maybe find something to do. Now I will say that it lost a lot of its potential, I think, because it's becoming more like Facebook, too much on advertisement, too much on, they show you too much people that you are not following, so that I don't see like what I care about it, But I still use it like a diary for my travel. Like I use the story a lot, like just to make stories and like watch all the story that I make, maybe during a travel or during a night, just like a memory, more for me that to really like posting and let people see what I'm doing.